Hello, my Top Everything listeners. I'm Tyler, a good friend of Marion's from high school. I'm also founder of the Barefoot Autism Challenge. This challenge started out originally as something to get a barefoot runners group that I'm in more active, but now it's become something bigger than myself. The challenge involves posting a picture or video on social media of you walking barefoot and then sharing what advocating for someone who's autistic means to you. This is very important to me because I'm autistic and being barefoot is a good sensory activity for myself. Since 2020, we had themed challenges, a different theme every day, which I admit was not my finest moment, but it was during COVID. A different theme each week, a bingo card, and for the 2022 Special Olympics USA Games, an exercise theme. This year, the theme is all about art. So any kind of art activity, whether it be drawing, painting, or even performing arts, all of those will be done barefoot.
So that message was from our high school. Well, actually, Tyler did say he was my high school friend.
He said good friend. So
my good
and I are just acquaintances.
He's like, I don't know those other two.
Yeah.
I don't claim them. Yeah. Yes, and this is my top everything. We're three best friends who argue about anything and everything. And today our topic is top 3 unique ways to paint in honor of the Barefoot Autism Challenge that is founded by our high school friend Tyler Leach every year for Autism Awareness Month in April. So we're going to go through our top 3 unique ways to paint, and then we will share Tyler's top 3 ways to paint at the end of the podcast. Okay, let's get started. Who's going first for top 3 unique ways to paint?
I'm going first.
Okay.
My number 3 most unique way to paint is I'm going to spray paint. I really love street art, and I've gotten into it a lot in the last 5 years of like just gone on a couple tours in different cities. And like, it's very interesting because they always get into the politics between the different artists with like their spray paint art. And like, I learned that if spray painters aren't really respected in the street community, if they use stencils or like where you can like project a light and like outline, it's got to be freehand or nobody wants to count it. And then it's also just really pretty and things will get tagged over it. And like, if your piece like hasn't been painted over in a certain amount of time, it's like a true sign of respect. Like the street art community really respects your work and like what that message has to say. And so, I've really enjoyed going down different alleyways to see the paint.
Yeah, I love that. I went on a hike recently in January in LA at near Will Rogers State Park. And it's basically, I was telling Kara just visited. I was telling Kara that this used to be an old like Nazi sympathizer compound that was abandoned after the FBI raided it during World War II. But it was where all the people they like built this compound to live at and to like hang out at until Hitler won. It's abandoned and there's like a hike through it, but a lot of people go there to graffiti. Like there's graffiti everywhere, all this beautiful art. They also like spray paint arrows because it's not really a trail. You're just walking through like, this like wild area that has like random abandoned foundations and stuff. So they spray paint it, but it's so prevalent there. And like, obviously nobody's policing it or anything, that when my friend and I were going through it, and we have never ever spray painted anything. I was like, 2024 bucket list goal. We're coming back here with a bottle of spray paint and we're going to try to spray paint something, which I've never done in my whole entire life. But I was like, I felt it was just such a communal thing. I was like, I want to be, I want to contribute to this community. And I felt like it was very welcoming because, there were all sorts of things there. It felt like the perfect place to practice and not feel bad about defacing something.
Yeah, someone will tag that over for you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that sounds really nice. It was also really eye-opening to see the graffiti in Rome and like just around Italy, because I feel like it was way more in my face and it wasn't something that was like only in back alleys or like hidden from the main walkway of things. And so I liked it because I felt like their community saw street art in a whole different way than we do in America. But I also don't know much. That's me guessing.
The first time that I really, really appreciated street art was in Berlin. I did a street art tour. And did you do that, Mara?
I didn't.
No.
But I saw a bunch.
It was so freaking cool. And they were whole like 18-story buildings where the whole facade was one graffiti artist. And they were telling us on the tour that sometimes in the middle of the night they would basically rappel down sides of buildings in order to do these pieces of art and stuff. And it was the coolest thing ever. And I was living in Spain at the time, and I was living in Granada, and there's this guy Ruiz who is a super famous artist that lives in Granada, but nobody like knew who he was for the longest time. And he has this symbol where it's kind of like a little gear or wheel that's integrated somewhere in the art every single time. And the faces that he does are so impressive, and it's all freehand. Super cool. Did
I ever tell you guys that we had our own our own Banksy at Beloit? Not Banksy actually, but our own person who was anonymous, who basically would like spray paint these little things, but they would do it kind of on like some type of material that they would then like paste onto the wall. So they weren't directly, graffitiing, but it could stay on there. And they would do little things like a kid like watering a flower or weed or whatever, something very Banksy-esque, but their kind of own spin on it. And everybody loved them. They would like pop up overnight, like after a weekend of partying or something, you'd see like a new little like art from this person. It ended up being this guy in my class, super nice, like great guy. But it was so much fun to have this like community rogue mystery artist who would brighten everyone's day by like putting little things outside the commons in the cafeteria. I wish that was something that I had the talent for,
Same.
Our next number 3, Kara, you want to go?
I'll go. I also have one I want to talk about that I really don't like. So when we hit honorable mentions, I'm ready to rant for a second. My number 3 is going to be period painting. I think it's going to be on someone's list.
Somebody had to say it. I didn't.
I know, right?
I purposely didn't put it in my top 3 because I was like, somebody else has got to have
I thought that too, and then just now I added it.
Wait, sorry. You don't mean like
I do.
Painting during a certain period. You mean like painting with your period blood.
Period blood. Yes.
How do you even collect that?
Diva
Cups. Yeah.
You produce enough blood? I don't think I ever produced enough to paint something. So do people generally use like a Diva cup to collect it?
Yeah.
And then they put it in like a mason jar or something?
Yeah. Something with a closed lid, airtight.
Yeah, because otherwise. Yes, it's like a whole thing. It's in. Grayson says, "Oh my god." It's a whole thing in the sort of like feminist artist community.
I just looked it up.
It's cool though, right?
Yeah, we had a exhibit at my college, which was an all women's university, and we had of course, we had a art gallery of period paint.
That's amazing. I love this.
Yeah. It's some of my favorite.
This is hardcore. I'm a big fan.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of it before.
Yeah, it never occurred to me. If I had known about this when I was having periods, I think I would have tried this.
This is what I thought you were going to say when you were like, oh, that art we saw in Amsterdam.
Well, for the record, we didn't see this art in Amsterdam. The art that I'm thinking of in Amsterdam, we didn't see it. It just happens in Amsterdam. But I see why you would think that, but that's not what I was going to say. So
nice.
But wouldn't it get like dried and brown and faded? Like thinking.
I think that you have to treat it with something.
Okay.
It's typically, I think, Mara, correct me if I'm wrong, it's used as a medium to kind of make feminist statements as well. So if you're like a feminist, you want to paint, you have this like good idea, if you can level it up by using period paint, and then it like really hammers home this idea. So it's definitely a thing. I think it's really dope.
Yeah.
And I've never tried it. I don't know if I ever will, but I'd be down.
It's pretty extreme. I love it.
You guys wouldn't try it?
I would try it.
I would try it.
Someday I will take my IUD out and we can all paint with my period blood.
Someday soon.
Oh, I'm actually going to hold you to that.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Ugh, that means I have to use a Diva cup.
Yeah. Add it to my bucket list. I like to paint with carrots.
We'll collect them all. Maybe we can get all the women in the group someday.
Oh my God. I would love to get little jars. Like, you know, those like little jam mason jar, you know, the like little like individual size. Yeah. The Bonnie or whatever. And each one for each of you. And then I make a painting with everyone's period blood.
They make tiny canvases. So it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Tyler, is this what you imagined when you suggested the subject for us?
Mara and I both first thought of that probably immediately.
The first thing I immediately wrote down.
Same. And when you guys were talking about whatever it is in Amsterdam, I immediately thought it was that. I was like, it has to be period painting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're 11 minutes into our so Mary.
Okay, here. Yeah. My number 3 most unique way to paint. I'm thinking that you get somebody to prepare a box for you, a cardboard box. They cut 2 holes in the top of the box and they put a bunch of painting materials in there. And then there's another hole in the box. And so you're painting with mystery paints a mystery image. So then when you bring it out of the box, you got this painting that you didn't see and you didn't know what you were painting with. That's from my own dome.
Wow.
Oh,
dude. When I took a sketch class, one of the things that she had us do was we had to sit across from somebody and like stare at that person and then draw that person without looking down at the piece of paper. And so I would love to do that. That sounds very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it would be fun, especially if you had something like a bowl of fruit in front of you, but you like don't know, you can't see the paints you're using. So you just have to pick one paint and be like, in my head, this is green. Like I will be using this paint. And maybe it has some type of sensory detail. So you can tell like that you're using, okay, this color is a different color from the other one by feeling like the bottles or something. But yeah, I think it would be fun to do some type of blind art, basically. Okay. Done.
Okay.
Easy.
Is it honorable mention time?
No. We've agreed that we do honorable mentions at the end. So let's go to our number 2s.
My number 2 most unique way to paint. I feel like you're probably going to give me shit for this. So I do have a backup if you truly hate it. But MS Paint, dude. I absolutely love step 1, open up Paint.
Microsoft Paint?
Yeah.
Oh my God. First of all, you can't call it MS Paint. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what we call it at work.
Well,
people call it MS Paint.
Everyone calls it MS Paint. Everyone calls it MS Paint.
Yeah, just but okay, continue.
Yeah, give it to me. No, that's it. I just think MS Paint. That was the entire thought.
You just think that's a unique way to paint?
Yeah, who's doing that?
It's like one
anymore?
of the most common ways to paint, right?
Not anymore. Also, there are some people that can make like actual like detailed art in it versus like
what do you do in it?
What do I edit photos?
So you don't even paint?
No, but I edit photos. I paint on them.
Can you see an image and know that it was from MS Paint? Like, how do you know that it was made in MS and not another digital format?
The caption.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I like the vibe of talking about digitally painting something. Obviously, that's a legit art. I guess MS Paint is one of them.
I think it looks more kiddish because like the colors in MS Paint are very, I feel like they're very noted or like, what's the...
It's very like early 2000s vibe. Like stick figures is what I'm imagining, you know?
So I do think if it wasn't like an edited picture and if you like truly drew something in MS Paint, I want to say I'll recognize it. I could tell.
We're going to test that later.
Great.
I'm not going to like knock you for it because this was a lot of my childhood. Before like Sims came into the world and before, back when you couldn't get on the internet without breaking the phone line or whatever. I used it a lot. But I will say, even though it's called MS Paint,
it's drawing.
I would argue it's drawing.
Yes. That's my big thing. Is it's drawing. It's not painting. Although you do have a little paintbrush icon.
Yeah.
But it is really more like drawing, I think. Especially with the things that I was producing in MS Paint and what other people were producing in MS Paint.
The bunny outside my window is literally the size of a juvenile cat. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
It is, it is kind of like drawing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to give you a -0.5 point. I'm sorry.
-0.5 point for not knowing it was called MS Paint, Kara.
Oh, I approve both these minuses.
What a surprise.
Give me one. Do me.
Okay. -2.
What?
Just kidding.
For what?
I don't know. I just thought I'd do it.
Get her. Yeah, get her. I agree with it.
I don't have anything that's annoyed me. Give me your number 2 and then maybe I can give you something.
Okay. Well, after Kara goes.
I think I'm number 2. So my number 2 is dot painting. And if you haven't seen it, folks at home or the 2 people on this podcast, I would recommend looking it up. But essentially oh God, my internet just went crazy. But you create a very intricate painting, but with only dots and usually of different colors and sizes and thicknesses. And you could do it kind of like textured if you can do it quite right. But it's a really cool, in my opinion, way to create something that can be really detailed, but with such small. It's so, you have to be so dedicated to get a cool outcome. And I just think it looks really cool. And it doesn't freak out my tristickabunda or whatever it's called. Tristickabunda.
Are you picturing like when they're using all black pen and it's like dots, or are you like paint?
I've seen that too, but there's like, like mandalas you can do, or like people have like created tigers or like whole like people, like you can get ones that are, like a person lying down or whatever. I think typically they're used as like kind of childlike bright colors, but I like it when they're more fancy, I suppose. Yep.
That art is not to my taste, but I can see why you would find it, like the work that goes into it.
Yeah, it's more the process I appreciate. I don't want a piece of dot art in my house, or really I don't really want to look at, but I can appreciate like how many times you have to stick a pen on a piece of paper to get a cool outcome. I think that's a very, like, you have to be very into your craft.
Yeah. But again, you just said pen.
No, it's with paint too.
You can do it with paint. It depends on whatever medium there are you use. Good try though. Nice try.
-0.5 point to Marianne for not understanding Kara's number 2.
She literally said pen. Like she's talking about pen.
It's It's because Mara said that and it got in my head.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
There is somebody on Instagram called the Dot Queen or the Dot Princess. Listen, I don't know. Never mind.
Is it cool?
Not to my taste.
Not to your taste. It's a unique, the prompt was unique ways of painting, not painting I like. So
unique ways to paint, yes. But I feel like this is almost unique styles. It almost, I don't know. There's something about it. It's still just like painting with your hands, right? Like,
what? We're not talking about like different body parts, unique ways to paint.
Yeah. I still think this is a unique way to paint.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have taken this different ways, like techniques and like mediums.
Styles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my number speaking of, my number 2 unique way to paint, just with your imagination. I think my best paintings are the ones when I close my eyes and I think of a painting that I would like to see. And those are always better than when I try to paint it on the paper. When I try to take what's in my mind and put it on the paper, it never comes out right. Never looks right. You know? Like it's just not how I painted it up here. In my mind, I've created like these crazy masterpieces, you guys. You would not believe it. Like they call me the next Vincent van Gogh up here.
Golf.
You know? In my mind, I'm missing 2 ears because I'm twice the fun. So
and you can't hear any of the
negative feedback. Yeah, so I just think, a good old way to paint. Just imagine in your mind a painting you would like.
-1 hard, maybe -2. I don't even know. Terrible.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
This is atrocious. This is a unique way to paint.
Nah, I got shit for MS Paint.
Just because you can think cool things does not mean you are suddenly painting. That is, I've created really cool things
painting with your mind.
Then I try.
You are painting a picture.
And then I try to put it down. Painting is a physical act.
Literally, you can paint someone a picture with words. You can paint a picture in your mind. We literally use that phrase to talk
about
Even
painting pictures with words means that you have to speak with your mind. You have to speak with your little mouth.
You can paint a picture in your mind. People literally say that. They say, paint a picture in your mind. Imagine.
Kara's eyes just got so wide.
Kara, you are in the wrong here. I don't know what to say.
I am not in the wrong.
I'm on Kara's side.
I'm not over here just naming types of painting techniques like, dots, impressionist. Like that's basically what you're doing. I'm over here trying to think of actual unique ways to paint. Your imagination is a unique way to paint.
No, it has to be a physical act. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't.
Not even a...
Yes. I feel like this is worse than MS Paint. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, that's why she got a full -1. You only got a half. You only got a half minus.
Also, you know that thing.
That's a terrible. I am not an artist because I can create really cool things in my mind, and I can't put it down on paper or pen or the art or world, whatever. I can't do that. Therefore, I am not a very good artist. Same. You can't claim that. That's not acceptable.
But sometimes you can just picture it.
I'm a fantastic artist. I'm a fantastic artist in my mind. I'm
a great
astrophysicist
astrophysicist in my mind.
No, because sure, maybe in the rules of gravity and astrophysics in your mind. You know what I'm saying?
You're on your own here, bud.
People literally say like paint a mental picture. People say that. You can paint a mental picture.
And nobody else can see it.
Yeah, so is it so art is only art if somebody else can witness it or see it?
If the computer cannot be a painting, then your brain can also not be a painting.
Also, a lot of arts aren't tangible. Like you have spoken word that's not tangible.
That's art, not painting.
You have performance art. That's not tangible. Like there's lots of art that happens that is not seen and you can paint in your mind.
No, because we're not talking about art. We're talking about painting. Tyler, back me up here.
I'm on Kara's side.
Grayson's also on our side, by the way, just per the chat. Okay. Grayson said imagination is a painting precursor, not painting. Shame.
No, because some people...
He shames you. Shame.
Some people... Okay, what about the people who can't physically paint? Are they painting in their mind? Are they painting in their mind?
They're probably picturing things in their mind.
They are not painting, no.
Imagination is not just a precursor. Like, for example, may not enjoy painting. I might not like that, but I might enjoy painting in my head.
I know I don't have a good mic. I know I don't have a good mic right now, but here's a question. If I imagine myself driving, am I driving?
In your mind, you are.
Would you say that people that create good stories in their minds are good writers?
Oh, I mean,
nice.
Probably.
No.
I mean, probably they've been spending a lot of time with the stories in their mind. You can do anything in your mind.
Yep. No one else can see it. This is painting, so.
Whatever. Well, I knew I was going to get flack for that one. I've done my best to defend it. I'm saying we use the phrase paint a picture in your mind like it's a real thing. I'm just saying it's a unique way to paint. There's language for a reason, folks.
Yeah, and there's... No. I guess
we're just like playing within the box. Nobody's allowed to go outside of the box or be inventive or unique.
Kara said menstrual blood.
MS Paint over here is not getting enough flack then, because MS Paint, that's a great out of the box suggestion. Okay,
she got the appropriate amount of flack. You just got so much more because
the play on words. Paint a picture in your mind is a great out of the box answer. And I'm sorry that you can't see it. I'm sorry that you're too close-minded and your box is so small that all you can think of is splatter or what? Dot painting.
At least I can see it. How well can you picture something inside your mind, picture-wise?
Oh, this is actually really cool. And we're going to get on a very large tangent, but I have seen a spectrum. Have you seen the image spectrum?
Yes.
Of what people see in their minds? So cool.
Where are you at on that, Marion? What kind of painting are you, quote, making?
I mean, for the record, you can't prove.
I wish we could tell.
You can't prove how good I am. Okay? I could say anything right now.
And neither can you.
I'll be honest. Yeah, that's the point. Anyway, there's like five main categories for that. I would say I'm in the 3 to 4 area. I'm not 5, which we would say like would be the most detailed imaginations that people have. But looking at 1 and 2, I'm definitely not 1 and 2. I'm probably either 3 or 4, in between 3 or 4 of like the level of detail. I definitely like think in color and things like that. And it does feel very vivid and like it's pretty accurate. So I would say my paintings are like
you have a pretty average imagination.
My paintings in my I would say 4 out of 5.
How
like
ununique of you.
Average. Yeah, I would say my paintings would be like considered decent but forgettable. That's how I put them. But this isn't top 5 unique ways to paint amazingly. It's just top 5 ways to uniquely paint.
Yeah, we don't need 2 adjectives in a title.
Exactly. Anyway, should we go to sponsors?
Hell yeah, brother.
See, even now you're making music because you're making it out loud.
Oh, and you've never had a song stuck in your head? You've never had a hum in your head that you can't get out? That's not real?
Yeah.
You're over there
other people know?
You are literally sitting there with the song stuck in your head. Sometimes a painting can be stuck in your head. An image can be stuck in your head.
And people only know that? Oh! Well, I feel like I'm in middle school again. You just got under my skin.
Yep. Thank you to our sponsors. Our sponsors this week, number 3 is Grayson. Thanks for keeping us on this new regimen to try and give people crisper, faster, funner episodes. Number 2, shout out to Trained Elephants, who can paint with their trunks. You are an inspiration for everyone who would like to uniquely paint. And I'm sure you're thinking of beautiful, beautiful paintings in your mind, elephants.
And how to kill people that they hate.
I have no response.
Okay. Number one.
Our number one sponsor this week is, of course, the Barefoot Autism Challenge. It is going on during April, during Autism Awareness Month, April 1st to April 30th. Please consider posting a picture or video of you walking barefoot or sharing why you advocate for those who are autistic. And for the art theme, you can draw or paint with your feet or do pottery or clay sculptures with your feet. Kara, I'd love to see you do that. Just see what you make. And, I don't need to see the video of you using your feet, but I would love to see what you could make with your feet. You could try to write poetry barefoot or even dance, sing, and act barefoot too. Challenge your friends to do the same using hashtag Barefoot Autism Challenge. You can find Tyler's challenge on Zazzle, Facebook, and Instagram. If you just type in Barefoot Autism Challenge. Tyler's been doing this since 2017. So it's been going on now for how many years is that? I can't count.
8.
Yeah. So it's wow, it's almost a decade old. How exciting.
Cute.
And we will be sharing our own beautiful artworks sometime in April. So be on the lookout for that on our Instagram. Yes, Kara.
And we would love to see yours, so you should tag us as well.
We would love to see.
Brother.
Yes, yeah. So please, that's hashtag My Top Everything Podcast, or just My Top Everything. We'll know what you mean. We'll know.
Man, I matched with a guy on Hinge that draws with his feet.
How do you know that?
Because he had it on his profile, and the only questions I asked him were about his foot art for the most part.
Fair.
Did he show, were there pictures of it on his profile?
Yeah, there was one paint or drawing that he had done, and it was a llama, and it looked really good.
Wow, maybe you should go on a date with him, and the thing you can do is whatever, draw barefoot, Do it for the challenge.
I'm invested in this date.
I'm going to add that to my list of ideas for a first date. BRB. My name is Mara. My number one.
That's good. Actually, we should be introducing ourselves more because sometimes my friends in LA will be like, oh, you remember when you were saying something about your panic attack on that hike? And I'm like, that wasn't me. That was Kara and Mara. Excuse you. So I think maybe we should be saying my name is before we say anything on this.
Good note. My name is Mara, and my number one most unique way to paint is...
Do you want to go again? So that way I don't have to, I can just chop all of this.
Oh my God.
She was painting in her mind.
Exactly.
And you know what we did? We saw nothing.
My name is Mara, and my number one most unique way to paint is by taking some sort of linen cloth and you lay the cloth on top of flowers or leaves, and then you hammer the flowers and leaves on top of the cloth, and then it transfers pigment onto the cloth, and you're left with nature's stamps. So it'd be flower petals and leaves or vines. And I think this is painting because I'm transferring pigment.
I don't know if I agree with you.
I didn't think you guys would. But I do think it's very... I feel
You're just talking about art. You're just talking about art. And you're literally using the word stamping.
At least she's talking about art.
You can stamp in a painting, dude. You can use stamps to paint. People sponge paint for
stamps
decades.
With paint on it.
Yeah, the paint is the chlorophyll from the leaf.
What is this called? It's called flower...
I don't know what it's called.
It's not called painting, but...
It's dyeing.
Yes, it is dyeing. That's exactly.
But I still...
But also, maybe, because also what is canvas if not just a piece of linen that's stretched?
It is. It's just taut.
And then you're transferring pigment. So, you're not making bad arguments here.
Way to talk yourself to my side.
How do you do it? Pick fresh flowers, arrange them.
Just look up
this.
Hammer.
I can't tell with the potato quality of that. Yes.
Is it called flower pounding?
Nice. Let me Google that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that picture that you showed me popped up.
I'm on the fence about whether or not this is painting, but I don't think it's so on the other side that I'm willing to take off points.
Yeah, I think it is natural dye. Is dyeing something.
Painting.
I think it is when you make... You're not just dyeing the whole piece of cloth. You are making a picture on the cloth.
But you're still like printing it, or like that might be closer to printing. Like you're naturally printing something. You're basically printing and dyeing versus like, when does it turn into painting? Like what, I guess we had to look up what the definition of paint.
I think paint usually is a liquid. Is kind of where my head went. Because I think you take off flower.
A mixture of a pigment and a suitable liquid to form a closely adherent coating when spread on a surface in a thin coat.
I think this counts then.
Well, no, because it's just a pigment, right?
You're making a liquid. When you like pound it with the hammer, the only reason it transfers is because of the liquid.
That's a good point.
But it's not a
You're
mixture. It's not a...
It is a mixture. It's plant guts. Next question.
Okay. All right.
I think you did a good defense there. Okay, so you know how you've seen those, well, maybe not. I hope I'm not taking somebody's honorable mention, but you know how you see when somebody like puts a canvas in a Ziploc bag and then you put like a couple dots of paint and then your cat like rolls around on it or whatever and it creates paint. I was thinking that it would be so cool if you had a horse standing and then you dipped their tail in paint and then you kept the canvas right behind. And you know how when it's hot and the like flies are around and they're swishing their tails? I think it would be cool to have a painting of like
horse shit and paint mixed together.
No shit.
Well, when they shit, which they inevitably do about every 10 minutes, it feels like.
They don't shit that often.
It's gonna go everywhere.
They don't poop that often. You wait till they poop, then you put the paint on after you clean them up a little.
Oh my God. I like it. I thought you were gonna say maybe with a dog after.
I know you were gonna. I knew that somebody was gonna think that. No. I think that those are fine, but like you can't tell the origin of that. So I'm not team putting something in a plastic bag and then having something roll around on it. I don't really think that's very interesting to me. But I like it when you can tell what the source material is, like the flower or whatever. But like you could see all the swishing, which I think would be cool.
I think it would just look
I looked it up. No one's done it. I can't find anything on the internet about it.
It's almost
somebody's got it.
There is splatter painting, which is basically the human version of that. But
nothing's touching the canvas in that. With the horsetail, it's like dragging its tail.
Oh, not just like flicking the
tail
paint?
Has the paint on it.
I feel like that's just going to look like a smush. Like it's just going to look...
I think it's going to look like abstract art. I don't know if I'd be able to tell if it was a animal tail that did the painting.
You know, it'd be cool an experiment is if you did one on each side of the horse and then one behind the horse, like 3 feet or so in each direction, and you can see what the different like directions of the tail creates.
And then you have a whole 3-piece art set for a large wall there, dude.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one's done. I don't really understand why no one's. I looked it up. Also, people paint their horses. They paint skeletons on the horse to teach kids about like parts of the animal, which I thought was really cool.
That's cool.
Side note. Yeah, I thought this would be cool, and now I want to try it. So I might do that with Levi someday.
Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna need an update. You're gonna need to report back if this is even really feasible or.
Oh my God, Grayson! For the foot post, can I post the cookie you made?
Raj made it.
But Grayson held on to it. They have a fucking foot cookie cutter, and so Grayson made like toes and
no. Let me start.
Thank you.
We have when everybody came over for the Christmas party, we had sugar cookies that I had cut out and everything, and there was like snowflakes and Santa, whatever. And for some reason, somebody gave us a foot as a cookie cutter at some point. And so Grayson thought it would be funny to have a couple of feet. I thought no one is ever going to paint on a foot, so I only let him do like 2 or 3. Turns out that was the most popular thing. Everybody wanted the foot. And Raj created these weird skinny toes with these green toes, and then he had green toenails, and then he had like diseased blue like paint nubbins on it. It looked grotesque, but Grayson kept it for like a month, and he was like, I want to put, what did you say? You wanted to put wax over top of it?
Yeah, to like make it into like an ornament, basically.
Shellac. Yeah, make it last forever.
Nice. That would have been cool. Should have.
That's the type of plastic the world needs, dude.
Amara, you should borrow the cookie cutter and make for Barefoot Autism Challenge like a set of foot cookies. Like, I feel like that's your brand. You know, you could do like lavender shortbread or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe we could do that together.
I like that idea. Like lemon. Can we make a lemon cookie?
Yeah. No, rollouts are a lot of work.
Okay.
All right.
I hold no promises on that one.
Yeah. No promises on anything.
Well, we can also.
I don't know if my mom is going to let me dip a horse's tail in paint and then deal with the aftermath.
I can find you a horse. Everywhere. Let's fucking. I'll find you a horse.
I'm very skeptical about this type of painting. I think there's a reason. Why nobody has done this yet. You know what I'm saying? You keep being like, I'm shocked that nobody's done this. I think it's because
what are the downfalls?
Number one, I think it's
hold
impractical.
The canvas?
Yeah, like at what distance away is it to get that swish? Like they don't go out and swish. You know what I'm saying? Like, is the canvas on the ground so it's like dripping, or is it like how far
it's
back
up against
is it?
Like the stall. I think that you have one on the stall side, so like 90 degrees away, like the opposite, the way that the tail swishes. So you'd have like the edge, like the end of the tail, and then you have one behind for when it catches, like if the horse goes back, and then maybe like a 45-degree angle. I think it's an experiment. You'd have to see. It's like any painting. You don't know what it's going to be like the first time you paint with period blood.
Also, it'll probably dry like quickly on the tail. I don't know how it works to clean it out. Like,
yeah, it'd have to be non-toxic. Yeah, I'd have to do some research.
I'm just not surprised that nobody's done it, but
I am. I feel like people that have horses are really obsessed with their horses. So this is like, for me, if people are like having their dogs walk across canvases and cats roll around on paint, like how has no one done this?
Well, I mean, I could see a horse hoof. That's where I thought you were going.
Same. I thought you were going to say horse hoof.
I thought you were going to say horse hoof. That makes total sense. I would love to see, like, you basically just have a really long canvas and then you have the horse walk over it with its painted hooves. That'd be sick. That'd look cool, but
I don't know if I agree that it would look cool. I don't really think it looks cool when you have dogs or children walk across.
Well, I'm not saying either. Like have them roll on it to create, like, I'm saying like paint the hooves so that way it's like hoof marks versus like a thing.
It's a U. Yeah.
Mars turning into a ghost, so I'm gonna go to my number one. Now, I think that the number one unique way to paint.
Not her number one. The number one.
The number one. And I don't know if anyone's done this before. With your butt. Just get in there. Put the paint on your cheeks. Sit around. Think about all
I thought you were going a different direction.
Oh, no, but that my honorable mention doesn't kind of go that way. No, just put the paint on your cheeks because they're like kind of half moon shapes. You can make a bunch of fun shapes. You can make a flower. You can make like a pasture.
So make something that isn't your butt.
Yes. So like use your butt cheek because you can make kind of like different. You could use the shape, you know, the edge of your butt cheek, the rump.
Yeah.
You could do all sorts of things. The crack, you know, you can do things that are gonna look weird.
Oh, I don't like the crack.
I do. I like the absence of paint being something, actually. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, like
I'm into it.
Oh my gosh. Look up painting with butt.
No.
Yes.
It's cool. Oh my God. The male butt painting. There's like, for the male butt painting, it's like the butt cheeks, a little bit of the thigh. It's like they sat down and then like just this like
scrotum.
Yeah. Just floating scrotum that like from nowhere.
Dude. This was a viral trend on TikTok.
Oh, wow. Not very unique.
Where people were like making this shit for their SOs.
For the record, I'm not saying, you know, just like make a print of your butt by like putting your butt. I'm saying like, I actually, there's an MTV screenshot of this famous artist paints with his butt. Like, I'm saying use your butt as the main vehicle to paint.
Yeah, I like that.
I like the flower idea. That's interesting.
So that's my number one. Quick and simple. Let's do honorable mentions real quick. One of mine that goes with this is that in Amsterdam, as Mara mentioned earlier, when I first thought of this category, I thought of how in Amsterdam you can go to see certain shows, which we did not do. But one of the shows that I've heard about several times is like a woman will paint on somebody's bare torso using a paintbrush that she's holding with her hoo-ha. So her hoo-ha muscles, it's like she's holding it and she's squatting over the person and painting on them, or painting on a canvas, like on top of a bar.
Okay.
That's some Kegel strength.
That's a major Kegel. So you could
Major Kegel.
You can go to the show and then get a hoo-ha painting.
I feel like someone needs to create a show that's called Major Hoo-Ha or Major Kegel at this point. Like,
it's going to have to be the Brits, because they already have that dating show that's like, let me show you naked people with no words.
Naked Attraction.
Yeah.
It's called Naked Attraction.
Oh, is that the thing where they like start at the ankle?
They don't start at the ankle, they start at the wiener and the vagina.
They just go full in there.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Just straight up meat in your face. Like,
these are like regular people. They're like accountants and
yeah, these aren't model genitals. These are like average everyday. Sometimes they don't even feel average. They're like, I've never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen things on there that I'm like, is everything okay? Are there nurses watching this? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah.
Is everyone all right? It is odd. And then like the person picks somebody and what's so weird is they're talking about what they like during it. They're like, oh, I prefer this, I prefer that. And when they eliminate someone, it's always because of their like stance. I think that's the like safest thing to go with, is they're like, oh, I just don't like the vibe of the way that person is standing. That's why I'm getting rid of them. Not because like I'm shallow and I only like big boobies. Like, you know, they'll be like, oh, that's
they
too
seem too
swaggy.
Introverted based on their shoulders.
Exactly. Like, oh, they seem very cocky based on their knees. Like, and then at the end, after you pick somebody, you have to get naked. So it's just two naked people who have to hug. Oh, and they're always like
naked people. Because it's the final two. And then it's the person that's picking. And then the host that's like fully clothed.
The host is fully clothed. So it's this room where there's a fully clothed host and three naked people all talking. And it's, and it's honestly like, once you've seen one episode, you've seen them all.
You've seen them all.
So
they always go for the hottest.
Yeah, they always go for the hottest.
Obviously, it's like dating on the internet. It's all based on image. Obviously. Yeah. What the fuck? How is this a show that has multiple seasons? How are people going? Who decides to go on this show?
Well, that's the craziest thing is like, you're an accountant. You go on. You have to go to work knowing that like a lot of people have seen you naked.
Yeah. Like, I swear to God, your coworker could be on this show and you would know it.
And you'd be like, I now know what Jeremy's wee-wee looks like in vivid detail and HD.
Hell of a power play.
I know how many warps he has around his wee-wee.
Oh, man. Ew. What kind of tattoos he has.
Oh, yeah. The elephant tattoo.
Yeah.
All right. Any other honorable mention?
Yes.
Kara, before you go into your rant, Kara took most of mine.
Sorry.
Get her.
That's okay. Like the pet thing, and then...
I knew that was going to happen. I'm sorry.
But it's fine. I think you touched on this one too, but just making your own watercolors out of like dirt or sand or like dried flowers, I think that is amazing. And I
really want to have a garden where all the flowers I grow, I make into paint. I think that would be, or like you can put it on my ceramics or something. Like, I would love to do that.
I think natural, cool. Like, yeah, getting your own paints and naturally making them is so cool. And I would love to one day have a painting that I made naturally, like from scratch.
Oh,
that's a power move.
And I want it to be with my friend's period blood. The most natural of paints.
The most natural. Where life starts. Okay, my rant is, there's this thing that's on TikTok and I don't understand why people like it. It's called scrape painting. And essentially you put dots in places and then you have kind of like a squeegee and you pull the paint across the canvas and it creates streaks of paint. And the first one I was like, that's interesting. And then I've seen hundreds since, and I just don't like it in any way, shape, or form. I don't think it's interesting. I don't think it's like, you don't create cool image. I think it's like the act is cool, but the after effect, the image that you get at the end, none of them are interesting. I do not like it.
Sometimes it's like actual, not just blobs though.
It kind of reminds me of that like 90s toy that they would advertise us like all the time on TV, where it's it's called like black magic painting or something, where it's like that black material and then you have the little, almost looks like a mini like broom that you like twirl around and stuff, and it creates rainbow lines. And they always made the fish. There was always that fish that they made. I wanted nothing more than, I never got it, but I wanted that so bad. Like it's kind of, I think it's tapping into that, like all the people who were, subliminal, like all the kids who watched that 20 times a day when they were watching TV, I think are probably the same ones who are like, I'm going to do spray painting.
Yeah. It's just, I'd love to see one that the outcome is cool, because I haven't seen one yet. So if you listeners, if you have any desire to send us a cool image that you make yourself or one you find on the internet, feel free. I think I don't find abstract art interesting generally, but yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm going to have to go.
That was a natural end. We did a good job.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been real fun. Oh, let's play. We're going to play. We're going to play Tyler's top 3 unique ways to paint right now. Thank you so much, Tyler.
Thank you for this wonderful topic. Ow! What the fuck?
Yeah.
Assassin behind me. Thank you, Tyler. You did such a good job with this topic. I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
It was a great topic. I had more arguments than I think we've had in a long time.
Yes. Great painting ideas. And, remember to do your own unique way to paint in April and tag Barefoot Autism Challenge and tag us. Email us at mytopeverything@gmail.com if you want with your painting. If you send us your unique ways to paint, we'll post it on our Instagram.
Hell yeah, brother.
So do that. Anyone want to declare themselves the winner before my handyman starts buzzing?
Kara and I tied.
I won.
I don't think so.
100% I won.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Mara got -0.5 and Marian got -1.
You got -0.5 as
you
well.
You got -0.5.
You were the first one to get a -0.5.
I gave it to you.
Yeah, for not calling it MS, or for not knowing MS Paint and thinking it was Microsoft Paint.
Oh my God, that's such a bullshit reason not to win.
No.
It's pop culture.
Yeah. Also, you had you said dot painting and splatter painting for 2 of yours, which is just like, okay.
I didn't say splatter painting.
I mean,
I
that's
said
basically what you're saying with the horse.
painting. No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I can't argue this anymore. My handyman is going off, so I can't hear you with all the noise
Kara's
going
about
on
to
over
go
here.
off, dude.
You tied? Can't you just be happy that you tied?
No, because I win. Match. I win like once every 400 episodes. So
I'm not giving it to you when you say shit like that.
Tiebreaker?
Ooh!
Do you want to do it?
No, because the handyman is there.
What's a quick Grayson? Can you think of
what's a quick tiebreaker?
Which ear did Van Gogh cut off? First one wins. Go.
Left.
Oh, Mara.
I heard Mara first.
Yeah, me too.
I had to unmute because such bullshit.
No.
Because Grayson was screaming in the other room and I knew that my mic was going to pick it up.
If you are not talking, I can
That
cut
sounds
it.
like an editor's problem, dude. That's not for us to worry about, Kara.
I was trying to be kind. That's fine. Good job, Mara.
Well, nice guys finish last. Congratulations, Mara, on being the winner.
Thank you. Obnoxious.
I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
My top everything. Email us, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, blah, 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 blah. We love you. See you next time. Bye.
Someday there's gonna be going to be like Team Kara t-shirts because everyone's going to agree with me someday.
Kara's pissed.
Oh, man.
I don't know that you did anything special to win this. I don't know why you're
And my top 3 unique ways to paint are as follows. Number 3, splatter painting. Number 2, painting with balls like basketballs, golf balls, or soccer balls. And my number 1, painting with my feet. I hope to see some great artwork from you guys. And challenge your friends to do the same thing using hashtag Barefoot Autism Challenge. You have nothing to lose, only yourself to gain. So join us and put your best bare foot forward for autism awareness.